All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. We got ourselves May 27th. It is Saturday. Happy Saturday to everyone out there. Yes, we're recording from the Bugatti again. We're still away for the weekend. If you guys have not seen us tell you that in the last couple videos. But we're going to jump into each and every MLB game. I'll give you my lean on the game. I'll give you my lean on the total, the run line, what we're thinking about the game, guys. But all my final plays will be in the pinned comment, and hopefully I don't start sweating again, because you guys that watched yesterday, about halfway through the video, I started torrential downpouring from my forehead because we are in a car. The sun is beating on us, which I'm not going to get mad at the sun, but hey, it's not too cool in this car. But yeah, guys, we are recording from the Ferrari again, so sorry about that. Sometimes you got to get in your Maserati and record, and that's what we're doing. Not my Toyota Camry. Definitely not that. But guys, before we get into the video, I do want to ask you guys to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. It does, I don't know, it makes me happy to be like, okay, I can jump in the car and record and make the best of the setup that we have, and you guys still appreciate the content, and I guess appreciate the grind, because that's what it's really all about, right? Like, making sure you get the videos out there with the best of the abilities that you have out. So, guys, I appreciate the good feedback from yesterday. We do go 2-2 in the picks, so we don't love that, but yeah, we go 2-2 in the picks. Hopefully do a little bit better today. But hit that subscribe button, hit that like button as well. And then we also have a new coupon code up on the store for all the Fade Me products, guys. Go check it out. That link's in the description. You can use promo code MDW, Memorial Day weekend, obviously, MDW, for a discount on your products. The discount's different on all the products, so go check out that on the store. Enough rambling. Let's jump into it. Again, we're probably going to go fly through these picks a little bit faster than normal, just because I don't want to, heat myself to death here. But first pick, or first game on the board we are looking at is going to be the Padres taking on the Yankees in this one. Yankees on the season 30-23. But yesterday, it really didn't go exactly like the Yankees wanted to. The Padres win that game 5-1. We did, I believe we leaned the Yankees. Actually leaned the Yankees. It was one of our final plays, dummy. We lose that one. The total right now is sitting at 8.5 runs, and the Yankees are favored quite heavily here with Severino on the mound. He's got a 1.93 ERA going up against Michael Wacha, who has a decent stat line this season, 5-1 with a 3.58 ERA. I will say this, Michael Wacha is, I feel like, one pitch away usually from having a game in which kind of gets out of hand. But that being said, he's had a really good 3 games in a row. He's pitched 6 innings, 7 innings, and then 6 innings again. 1 earned run, 0 earned runs, and 0 earned runs. I think there's some value today on the Padres on the money line. They got the job done yesterday. The bats kind of came alive, right? I expect probably a couple more runs out of the Yankees than 0 yesterday. But I do think that this is a good spot in terms of value. If the Padres are like plus 105, I'd probably lean towards the Yankees. So this is really coming down to the return on investment / value play here. With Michael Wacha on the round, I do trust him. Plus 130. Hopefully he just kind of keeps that, the Yankees down and their offense kind of, subdued. So I like the Padres in this one. And then in terms of a total, 8.5 runs. Padres scored 5 yesterday. Do they get to Severino? I'm not sure. I mean, yes, he's got a low ERA. He has 1 start this year, 4 2/3 pitched, 1 earned run, 1.07 whip, 5 Ks. Pretty good for your first start of the year coming back, right? So I do think that is a good, they do have a good pitcher out there, but at the same time, I'm thinking, okay, this doesn't necessarily mean that he is going to be that good. He had a good start. It's still a very small sample size from him. So I think that the Padres can go out there and score 5 runs again. I think the Yankees bats come a little bit more alive and make this more of an over type game. So I'm going to lean towards the over as well. All right, next up, we're looking at the White Sox taking on the Tigers in this one. Tigers coming off of the loss yesterday against this White Sox team. White Sox winning that one 12-3. So they definitely took it to them. I did lean towards Tigers yesterday, but the Tigers are now the favorites in this game today. On the mound for them is Michael Lorenzen, 2-2 with a 4.08 ERA, and then Schulten's on the mound for the White Sox. I don't know much about Schulten's. I haven't seen much about Schulten's. 0-2 with a 2.25 ERA. I'm going to lean Tigers. I do think that they bounce back after a pretty bad loss yesterday. And then in terms of a total, we're looking at 9 runs here. This one kind of puzzled me for a second, because I was like, all right, I don't think either of these pitchers are stellar, right? But then I'm like, okay, 12 runs, maybe that's just getting in my head. I don't think these offenses are that good, right? So I got to block out that 12 runs from yesterday, because it ended as a total of 14. That's crazy. So I don't think it really goes in that direction again today. I'm going to lean towards the under and trust that these offenses still have a lot to figure out. All right, Blue Jays taking on the Twins here Twins coming off of the loss yesterday. On the mound today, Pablo Lopez, 3.9 ERA. Chris Bassett on the mound for the Blue Jays. He's got a 3.03 ERA and a 5-3 record on the year. The Blue Jays, I do think you have some really good value. Obviously, like I just said, they're getting the win yesterday, 3-1. This Minnesota team, I still believe in. I think they are a good team, but they've just been so inconsistent as of late. And this Toronto team has been very sporadic. But what I can say about Toronto is I do like them after a win more than when they're coming off of a loss. They seem to go in little pockets. And I think their last win, they did win one game and lose like 3 straight. So it kind of goes against what I said. But if you look at them on the season, they're actually kind of going in these pockets. So I'm going to lean towards Toronto. Slight underdogs in this one. Still minus 104 odds is your best bet over on FanDuel as of right now. And then the total at 8 runs. I think that at some point the offense is going to come alive here again. This Twins offense is kind of dormant, and this Toronto offense we know has the ability to go off. They scored 20 runs last series against Tampa Bay. So I'm going to lean towards the over, even though these offenses have definitely been dormant. They've been little sparks of showing, signs of life, and hopefully they're alive today. All right, the Texas Rangers taking on the Baltimore Orioles here. Rangers in this one are underdogs, plus 106 on the money line. Total is sitting at 9 runs right now. On the mound for Baltimore is going to be Drew Kramer, 5-1 with a 4.61 ERA. Andrew Haney on the mound for the Rangers, 4.12 ERA with a 3-3 record. Texas getting the big win yesterday. I like what I saw out of them, 12-2 ball game there. Looking good, obviously. And then in terms of what they've done recently, they've won 3 straight games, won 6 of their last 7. They've won 7 of their last 10. Baltimore in the same boat pretty much, 7 of their last 10. I do think that Baltimore's offense actually comes alive today, and Texas offenses continues to do it. So I actually like the over in this game, and I like both team totals in the over. I don't like a side today, so sorry about that. I don't have a run line play. I don't have a money line play, but I do like the total in this game, and then potentially each of the team offenses total bases individually. All right, the Oakland A's taking on the Houston Astros. We don't have a line for this as of right now. It's not that early when we're recording, but we still don't have an updated line, so I'm going to skip over this game. I'm probably going to lean Astros. You guys know I don't really even like looking into A's games all that much. I saw a couple comments yesterday being like, I'm leaving value on the table because I'm not, I just don't pay the A's that much attention, and sometimes they have a chance to win, and it could be, I guess some good value for them. Well, yeah, I guess it didn't work out for that person yesterday. Houston does win the game. They were 290 favorites. They did cover the run line. But I hear you. And if the A's have a good matchup, I'll look into it. I really just don't have much of a feel for that team yet. There are only a few teams in this league right now that I just don't have that gauge on and sort of a sense of feel for. So the A's are one of them because, they've had some decent wins, right? Or some surprising wins, I should say. But they really lose, like, pretty much all their games. I know it's so harsh, but 10-43 on the season, yikes. But yeah, guys, we'll skip that game, even though I just spent a minute talking about it. Moving on, we got the Giants taking on the Brewers here. The Brewers just didn't look all that great yesterday. That score was 400,286,046 to 1 is actually 15-1 yesterday. Didn't like that, as we did like Milwaukee yesterday. And this Milwaukee team definitely not playing as good as baseball of the Giants. And the Giants are playing, I guess you could say, their recent series here have been decent. Philadelphia, Miami, Minnesota, and now Milwaukee. Like, I can't take that away from them. Like, oh, they're because they've won 8 of their last 10. I can't take away the fact that, they've been playing bad teams. They really haven't. Now, my only issue today is that they're now minus 104 odds on the money line here on FanDuel, and Logan Webb's on the mound, who I do like. Corbin Burns on the mound for the Brewers. He's 4-4 with a 3.97 ERA. I wish San Francisco was plus money because I would lean towards them. But now I'm just kind of looking at this over at 7.5 runs. That's really my only lean on this game. Even if they're like plus 101 for San Francisco, I'd like it, but I don't, for some reason, I'm looking at that minus 104, and it shouldn't make that big of a difference to me. But it's like, why aren't they offering the Giants as big underdogs, Does that tell you the Giants are going to actually win and Vegas doesn't want to do that? Or does it tell you that, like, maybe the Giants, I don't know, guys. Kind of puzzles me. I really do think that this one, because it did open up at, I think, Giants plus 100, and then it's moved into minus 104 direction. So it tells you that the Giants are going to win, right? But then I'm like, okay, but that Milwaukee side of things is just staying there. And 51% of the money, for the record, is kind of where this inspiration comes from, is on the Brewers. And that line is just staying right there. So it's like they're looking for people to take either side of this and not get any sort of plus money. So it kind of skeeves me out. I know that probably didn't make any sense, but sometimes my brain works in weird ways. 7.5 runs is going to, over 7.5 runs is going to be my biggest lean on this game. All right, the Dodgers taking on the Rays in this one. Yesterday's game, Tampa Bay wins that one 9-3. Dodgers, again, underdogs on the road. Tampa Bay minus 115 right now on the money line on DraftKings. Here on the mound for Tampa Bay is going to be Tyler Glasnow. He's a 0-0 record with a 0.0 ERA. We obviously haven't seen much from him this year. No starts yet. And then in terms of the Dodgers, Clayton Kershaw on the mound, 6-4 with a 2.98 ERA. In terms of the money on this game, 54% of the money is on Tampa Bay. So pretty split down the middle here, but 60% of the bets are on the Dodgers. So the public's looking at Dodgers and the money's kind of gravitating towards Tampa Bay. Obviously, we haven't seen Glasnow this season, and Clayton Kershaw is a stud, but I am going to follow the money and lean towards the Tampa Bay Rays. In terms of the total here, this one was puzzling to me because, yes, you do have two good pitchers on the mound. Obviously, Kershaw, who we've seen, Glasnow, who we know is, and I don't necessarily get why this is at 8. I would have thought this would be more of a, a 7.5 type game, I guess. But maybe I'm just crazy. So I'm going to lean towards the under here just because I do think that you have these two offenses. We saw a 9-3 game yesterday. I think this could be more of like a 4-3 type game today and cash this under. All right, the Kansas City Royals taking on the Nationals. Singer on the mound for the Royals, 7.48 ERA. Josiah Gray on the mound for the Nationals here, 4-5 with a 2.65 ERA. I think there's some value again here on the Nationals. Yesterday, I told you, I literally said, I wish we made it a final play, but I said, why are we looking at this Nationals team as underdogs against the Royals? Why is any team an underdog against the Royals here? So I am going to lean towards, as a car alarm's going off in the background, but I'm going to lean towards the Royals here in this one. Or excuse me, the Nationals here in this one. Minus 105 over on DraftKings. Just don't trust this Royals team whatsoever. And then in terms of a total, working at 9 runs, I think this one actually goes under, even though yesterday's game was a crazy, crazy amount of runs. All right, the Braves taking on the Phillies here. Braves minus 135 favorites in this one, coming off the loss yesterday. Charlie Morton on the mound for them today. I like the way he's been dealing. I'm going to lean towards the Braves on the money line. Total 9 runs in this one. Kind of went back and forth on this one, to be honest, looking at this in the morning. So I will say I'm going to lean towards the over, just because we've seen 2 games so far in the series go over. Yesterday's game barely going over, but I still do like the over. I think these Atlanta Bats are going to continue to come to play. 8 runs and 4 runs scored, right? But Atlanta, I think they bounce back in a win. Getting Charlie Morton back, they take the 3rd game of this series. All right, Pittsburgh taking